Today we're going to build what we did yesterday. We've worked with fractions for days now, but we have three columns of information. First, let's introduce the column of information. This is column is the weight or from the x column to the column. Here we have 2 plus 0.5 equals 0.5. Easy enough. What about 4 plus 3? 7. And 5 plus 3.7 would equal 7.5. 8 and 500ths. So what's important here? You understand that this is z equals x plus y, and we'll be that for today. The other thing I want you to remember is that when we write equations, we often use the formula y equals unit rate x. But anytime I see the letter y, my variable y, I can also plug in unit rate x. So I have the same exact equation here, but instead read z equals x plus unit rate x as c. I write this down, your original z equation. These are going to be important, particularly in the last example. I'm going to show you our steps for today. I do not want you to waste time and write these down. These should be apparent by now, and them for a very long time. Our first step is to find the unit. Then we will write an equation and values to complete. In all of our tables, we'll need to write equation y equals x. Some of them we'll need to write z x plus y equals x plus x. Okay, for our second example, we have student notebook and total. So find the unit rate. I know that means my amount per 1. So I need this number 3 to become. I think to myself, how would I make a 3 from 1? Well, I know that 3 divided by 1. Perfect. But if I do one side of the ratio, I need to do it on the other side of the ratio. Proportional. So 12 divided by 3 equals 4. I end up getting 4 pencils per notebook. Very good. That's exactly the unit rate. I'm actually going to rate that. So 4 pencils for 1 notebook. And if I add that up, that would be 4. And if I was adding my y to 5 here, 3 plus 12, 15. How do I find the rest of my y? Well, I'm going to in our equation. We have y equals 4 from right, 4x. Instead of writing x, I'm in my numbers from my x column. So 1 is 4 times 5. What times 5? The answer is 20. Right in the middle. And everything that I should be paper as well. About here, 4 times 12 and 1/2. Correct answer is 50. Now I'm going to plug right here and add. In order to find the column, we're going to x and y. 5 plus 20 is 25. 12 and 1/2, 50. 62 and 1/2. Very good. We used our regular y equals unit to plug in and on. This example is more complicated because we only have the values to fill these. First, unit rate. 1 cup of water every 1/6 rice. And I set up like a cup of 2 1/6 of rice because this is my x and my x is to be 1. Second part of my ratio. How would I get 6 to be 1? I get 1/6. I know that if a fraction become 1, I need to multiply the multiplicative. So the multiplicative inverse of 6, opposite, is going to be 6, 1. And I need to do that on both sides in order to keep the ratio proportional. So 1 times 6 times 1 is going to equal 6 over 6. Also equal to 1. So 1 cup of rice is equal to, what's 6 times 6? Now that I have my unit, I can write in 6 cups of water for every 1 cup of rice. I'll put my equation y equals 6x. Very good. So, since I have my z column, use my formula z equals x y. Since I don't even have my y, I'm actually going to use the z equals x plus x. Instead of writing y, it's 6x. Z equals x plus unit rate, which will give me the y column. If we were to add x, 6x, find that we get 6. All I've done is unit rate and an additional x in order to 12. So now that I have that, I'm going to divide each side. I can plug in my z, seen here. So if I have z equals 7x, the only way to get 7 on this side, divide by 7 on both sides. So if I divide by 7 on both sides, I'm going to get the equation 70 divided by 7, set up here. How many times is 7? The correct answer is, which I have left over, just bring up my 10. Make sure you pay attention. This is getting tricky. What I just solved for was my x. So write this in my table where 70 is. I'm going to write in the x column. You're following along. Now that I have my x, I can plug in for my unit rate equation, y equals 6 times x. So let's see. I have y equals 6 times 10. Instead of putting x, I put 10. And I 6 times 10 is 60. So in my y column, I put 60. Very good. The whole thing over again for our last. I have 40.75 equals 7 because this is my, and I know z equals x plus 6x or 7x. In order to get 7, I'm going to have to by 7 both sides. Okay, what's it going to look like? Looks exactly like this. How many times go into 4? But how many times go into 43? The answer is 6. Decimal point. And now I'm going to get over, and that will be brought down with my 7. 7 goes into 2 times, or 14. My 2 up here. I have a 3 left over with my 5 brought down. 7 35. 7 goes into 35, 5, which means that value that I just found is 25. So I'm going to put x value. And just like I did on my example, I'm going to plug in my x for this equation right here. I have it hidden. Y equals times 6.5. Y equals unit rate x. And when I solve that, y equals 30 0.5. Okay, that is all we need today. We can practice. Please use your laptop and raise